Welcome to the video series for Olympic College's Computer 154 course, Access for Professionals. My name is Pam Bilodeau, and I will walk you through the concepts contained here. This video installment is one of several in the series and answers the question, what is a database? Simply put, a database is a collection of data that is organized so that the data can be easily maintained and accessed. Databases can exist for anything you can imagine about which you can describe. Most databases have a general subject on which they store data, which can then be extracted to provide information about that subject. The data in databases are collections of facts about things that people are interested in keeping track of. The data in databases are categorized and organized into small sets of data that pertain to one piece of the overall picture. For example, a database for an auto shop might wish to track car data, people data, and sales repair data. Each of those sets of data would be grouped and organized separately within the database. All parts of the database relate to the larger subject. A data value, simply put, is a fact that is being tracked. For people, that might be someone's social security number or birth date. Data is not information per se. Data becomes information only when it is evaluated by someone. Otherwise, data is just data that sits there as values in the database. The data informs us of things when we look at it in different ways. For example, our auto shop database might be storing all sorts of data, but when we extract only the data that has to do with Ford Mustangs, we all of a sudden have some information about this type of car. The data is in there, but we have to carefully review only those data values that pertain to this one car type in order to learn information about it. People can layer complexity onto their review of the data such that they could review only those data values that pertain to Ford Mustangs, where the color of the car is blue and the date of the repair is the month of June. As long as the data is there and it is accurate, meaningful information can be extracted. One of a database manager's greatest concerns is the integrity of the data. That is, the data must be accurate and up to date, since information will be gleaned from it. The design of the database will help ensure that data remains accurate. These days, privacy and identity theft are huge concerns. Therefore, data security is another most important concern of the database manager. Data must be accessed only by the people who are meant to see it. Security is based on who you are and what you know in order to get to the data. These are usually achieved by way of login credentials, where you must enter the correct username-password combination. Security also involves the level at which data is accessed. The levels of access to a database are described by people's ability to read or view data in the database, add or change data in the database, or delete data from the database. It is generally accepted that only the designer or database administrator is allowed to modify the structure of the database, that is, add new fields to tables, create new tables, or make new forms. Databases can be designed using a variety of design models. The most common design model is called the relational model. Microsoft Access is based on the relational database design model. Relational databases were first introduced in the early 1970s and have been a business mainstay ever since. This design model works very well with computers, since computers are very fast at comparing values and storing and retrieving data. When people maintain the data in their database, they are interested in primarily three things: updating data, such as changing someone's address when they move; adding data, such as when new events or occurrences need to be tracked; and deleting and/or archiving data. Deleting and/or archiving data is an important and sometimes overlooked piece of the picture. Archiving is simply moving old data into long-term storage so that it is no longer in the current database but can be accessed as needed by looking at the archived data. In this video, we looked at how databases are collections of data or facts stored as values that pertain to something or someone specific, how information is data that has been extracted and evaluated for meaning, how integrity and security are high priorities for the database administrator, how Microsoft Access uses the relational database model, and how maintaining a database involves adding, changing, and deleting or archiving data. To continue your learning on designing databases, I recommend you watch the next video in the series, Components of a Table.